Back to my mental health and crime channel. My name is Huda London. This is the case of the Idaho. This is all my thoughts, my speculations, and my opinions only. Today I'd like to go back to the crime scene photos, especially the photos taken in Zana's room. To start with trigger warning, they're blurred out a lot of the photos, but you can clearly see that it looks like, in my opinion, that unfortunately two bodies were lying there, or still lying there. They covered it with black. They blurred it out. What is interesting is there's a black jumper on the table, and if you recall, DM and Bethany Funk were texting each other. Bethany Funk mentioned that she thought Zana had on all black. You have a black jumper that looks like it is definitely Zana's size, not Ethan's, lying on the table. Was Zana actually wearing black, or was that something said to distract us? If you pay attention to near this blue and red box on the floor, I think it's a beer box, carton, and you can clearly see there's a red tissue with red liquid on it. It's on top of the black blurred figure, whatever it is. May the victims rest in peace. You have Adrian on the table, and DM said that Zana and Ethan used it a lot, and she remembers Kaylee using it once. But the question is, how much truth can we take of DM or BF statements? The reason I say that is these are two surviving roommates and many other students in this college who neglected to call 911. So how much would you believe of the statements is my question. DM and BF are trying to tell us that they did not hear anything while this carnage was going on. This was going on for a couple of hours. Zana and Ethan were unalived first. Like I said from day one, I've never changed my statements. I could be totally wrong, but I really believe that Ethan and Zana were attacked after the Sigma Chi fraternity, because there was beef brewing. There had to be a reason for Ethan to take a gap year or semester, because I believe he was having beef with the Davids. Strangely enough, everyone was locking the front doors, closing the windows, because it was an eerie night. Quite strange. Why was just that night an eerie night? Where was Zana and Ethan's close friends, Emily and Hunter? Hunter wasn't there between 3 to 5 a.m. That would give him enough time to go to the crime scene and come back. Where's Jack D? His timeline's all full of lies. His timeline is completely wrong. Why was he the last person to be ruled out? Why was his professor concerned for him? His professor was concerned, especially after the breakup with Kaylee. Now, these are all red flags to be considered, in my opinion. But when you look at the state of this room, Looks like the crime either happened here or it was staged here. One of them. Poor victims. I wonder if that is a closet inside. Is that a mirror? So I think Zana was found on the floor and Ethan was found halfway on the bed. But you can see this tissue. You can see this tissue clearly. That has red drops. This is supposed to be Zana's takeaway that she ordered. Jack in the Box. I wonder if it was on the same night or the night before. Or did someone order on Zana's debit card? I don't think it was Zana, whoever ordered it. The DoorDash is just a decoy, in my opinion. They had 8 hours to stage the scene. Why does it look like somebody was searching for something in the house? The house looks like it's been raided. The sofas have been pulled apart. I wonder if it was about money or rugs. It just looks like somebody was searching for something here. And Ethan was worried for his sister. I wonder why. Why are there bags everywhere? Was there rugs in the bag? Or money? Somebody was definitely searching for something. Were they carrying weapons in the bag? But why would they have left it behind? Were they carrying alcohol beverages? There's this bag here, and there's one out behind the sliding door. If you notice on the left-hand side, you see the yellow tiger. The tiger that Zana, Ethan, DM, BF, Hunter, Emily, and all of them used to party with. That was the same tiger that was buried or was next to Zana's burial site. So this has to be Zana's room, definitely. If somebody came from the window, there was a ladder lying downstairs, but I don't think anyone came from the window. I don't think they would need to come from the window when clearly the surviving roommates could have let them in my opinion. And DM said the sliding door and the front door didn't lock properly. So they were broken. What happened to Zana saw they never spoke. I wonder which lock did he fix? Was it Zana's room or the outside door? It had to be Zana's room, I believe, because you would need permission from the landlord to fix the outside door, because clearly 6 people shared the front door. So was Zana and Ethan the main targets? I always said I believe one target was on the 2nd floor and one was on the 3rd floor. Steve said they did not need to go to the 3rd floor. Yes, they did need to go to the 3rd floor. If one victim was on the 3rd floor and one was on the 2nd, allegedly, that would make more sense. So I was here that Kaylee and Ethan were the targets, especially of Shawalter, allegedly. Those are the rumors coming out from the college in the beginning. And there's a lot of truth in the beginning. Things got changed later on, 7 weeks later after they arrested Koberger. What happened to the 3 unidentified male DNAs? There's red liquid on the handle. So was Ethan and Zana surprised? Sigma Chi and the Ryan said the Ryan guy said, hashtag rule number 1, get the biggest target first. So that would have been Ethan, allegedly. So they came to Zana and Ethan's room first, so they attacked them from the outside on their way home. And the body cam is quite loud. It sounds like something's happening outside. It could have started from the outside and led to the inside, in my opinion. If you look at that white furry carpet, you will see it's quite red. So I think it was Zana who got unalived on the floor, and it was a red liquid that was dripping out of the floor ceiling outside the house. I really believe that the food had nothing to do with Zana. Zana didn't order this. I don't believe that the victims were alive at that time. Unfortunately, they all were unalived before 3:12, before the figures were running upstairs. Like 4chan said, rummaging upstairs. It was 2:15, and the girls locked themselves in the first floor. That would be Bethany Funke's room. So 4chan and the 90 minutes theory lines up perfectly with what happened in the Idaho quadruples. I've always believed 4chan, because 4chan, whether it was the suspects themselves who were 4chan anonymous, or whether it was the victims' friends or family, whoever was 4chan anonymous knew exactly what happened. And I think it was someone in the Sigma Chi who was tired of certain people taking credit for these horrific crimes. That's just in my opinion. 4chan wasn't actually trolling with us. He was telling us what was going on. 4chan kept us updated from the 15th of November. So I think Zana and Ethan were attacked in their room, or maybe it started from the living room. But it's really sad to see that nobody's talking. And they all know exactly what happened. DMA's room looks like a crime scene. I've always said that. Look at her bed. JG, KJG. Is that Kaylee? Jane Gongalves? There's 3 initials written on a pillow. Something is tied to a bed where the victim's gagged. Something's written on a wall that they blurred out. And there's red liquid on her bed. On a table too. DM and BF had access to the crime scene for 8 hours. Let's not forget that. So I'm not accusing anyone. But there are questions, serious questions. For the surviving roommates, Hunter Johnson, where was he between 3 to 5 a.m.? How come everyone coincidentally fell asleep by 8 p.m. and woke up around 3 a.m. and then went back to sleep and then got the news before 10 a.m. that a quadruples happened, and yet nobody called the cops? And we can hear so much happening from the body cam. You have DM with a ghost face mask. Just pay attention to her room. And let's not forget, allegedly Koberger saw DM. He looked into her eyes and he said, nah, not today. He just walked off. That doesn't make sense. Let me know what you think. Please like, share, and subscribe. May the correct justice be served for these poor victims.